Good morning, guys. It's Figgy here, and I'm just doing a quick recap of the season premiere Survivor Game Changers from last night. Wow, so many things happened. So let's start off with episode 1. What really stood out to me a lot was Tony immediately running, trying to paranoid people, looking for an idol, even though, like, if they weren't chasing him, he was actually doing it. I thought that was hilarious. Ciara Thomas finding the advantage, the legacy advantage, where I believe it's if she is in the game with 13 people left or 6 people left, she can be immune. But she has to decide once she gets to that point. So that's huge. And then if she gets voted out, she leaves it to somebody else. And then the Ozzy Ciara beef. What are we thinking about that? Do we think it's going to go away? To me, it seems like Ozzy, no matter what he says to Ciara, it's still there. Even though it's like he's trying to get over it. So he says stuff like, I can't hold a grudge, from 8 years ago. Then he runs off. He's like, Ciara's the biggest star. We gotta get rid of her, blah, blah, blah. You saw what she did to me. So it's so conflicting. I would love to see them work together. I think one or the other will take each other out. But I loved when Ty goes down and talks to Ciara and is like, hey, I can't do a Thai accent, but pretty much he goes up to Ciara and he's like, well, after I talked to Ozzy, it seems like you guys need to talk. And then he tries to not get in the middle. Every time Ciara's like, so I already talked to him, but what you're saying is that it still sounds like I need to talk to him? And Ty's just like, crickets. Let's go ahead and jump to the immunity challenge where Mana loses. I know, poor Mikayla, and I'm the same way. I don't like losing. Losing is not in our vocabulary until we get voted off. So to be on a tribe where you lost the first immunity challenge, where Millennials, we won it, so that was new for Mikayla to have to go straight to tribal council. You can kind of see where people's weaknesses are within the tribe, and to me, the weakest people on the Mana tribe would be Varner, Hayley, and I guess if you want to say Sandra, but she was killing it on the puzzle. They tried to make a comeback, and she was doing work with Ciara. So it's really hard for me to say Sandra's a weak link when I know what she's capable of in other departments. But Varner, not being able to really get over the fencing and the water, and then I'm not trying to fast forward to Hayley's performance in the second immunity challenge, but holy shit. Like, I can't even. Like, I hashtag can't even. She blew my mind with how terrible her performance was. And I can't believe that Jeff's commentary was not going through the roof when she kept falling off of the beam. And then Troy's hand ended up falling off the beam as well. But Hayley, man, she was not doing enough for me. Okay, let's go back. Sorry. We'll go back to episode 1. So we get back to camp after Mana loses, and Ciara starts throwing names out there. Big mistake. If there's anything that anyone learns from the game of Survivor is you can't be the one always throwing the names out there. If everyone else is being quiet, you have to listen. You can't just be like, bah, 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 bah. That's what I did. When you come into the game guns blazing, you get taken out. And that's exactly what ended up happening to her at that tribal council. I believe, like Tony said, it was 9-1. That doesn't happen. It's never just clean like that, I know Mikayla was upset that they would be writing her name down at least once she would see her name. And I know how that feels, that was a similar situation that happened to me, and I actually ended up getting, voted out. So to even have your name tossed out there to be, oh, your name's just going to get written down because she thinks that. You don't trust these people. You don't know these people. So I totally understand where Mikayla's coming from, not fully trusting that she might not be going home, especially when everyone's seeing how, with a flick, she is mad and she becomes a wild card just like that. I think if Mikayla can calm that down more and more as a player, she'll get far and she'll make hopefully top 3 like I, in my boot order put her as top 3. But if she can't control her emotions and how easily she can get upset or angry at someone out there. She's going to piss a lot of people off. It's not going to turn out good. Now we go to episode 2. And episode 2 for me was, oh, wait, let's go back. Let's talk about Zeke, what I think about Zeke real quick. Zeke is in, I think Zeke is in a good spot because Suri wants to work with him. He can pretty much work with whoever he wants, and he's playing that even ground right now, you know? Kind of reminds me of Jay being cool with everyone. So I think that Zeke's playing a good game right now. I think it's going to work to his advantage, and I think he'll definitely make the merge at this point. Just if he keeps going the way he's going and he does not piss anyone off and doesn't bring out his inner diva, he'll be good to go. All right, let's go to episode 2. To me, was mainly wrapped around the Mana tribe. It was wrapped around Tony and his spy shack. Jeez Louise. Tony starts digging an underground bunker by the well, and he tries to test it out one night and sees that Sandra and Treyzan are walking towards, so he's like, crap, they're coming, and starts army crawling out of there. He eavesdrops, hearing Sandra and Treyzan throwing names out there. He confronts them. Sandra and Treyzan lie and say they're talking about crates. And now he knows that Sandra may be gunning for him. So now what we have is 2 big threats going after one another. We get to the immunity challenge, and it is just a mess. And this is where I was saying, like, Hayley just... It frustrates me as a player seeing someone out there like that, and I totally get, like, people grow out there. But when it comes down to it, and we send Tony home in the end, and we talk about sending these weak people home and blah, blah, blah as a possibility, Varner and Hayley to me are just great allies. They're not good in competition, so come a merge, you can beat them every time. It's just hard because at some point you have to win, you know? And with those 2 on my tribe, it's just hard. But what the good news is now that Tony is gone, you don't have to worry about someone spying on you and watching you when you sleep. But now we have this tribe swap coming up on the 2nd episode, which is technically the 3rd episode if we want to get specific. But on this next episode, we have the tribe swap after 2 people have gone home. So it's going to get really interesting. If you haven't seen my boot order, I haven't had anyone right yet, of course. But it's okay. That's like, again, it's like March Madness. You don't know what's going to happen. You just make picks and you hope for the best, or it's just at random. And Survivor is that game where anything goes and everything goes. So comment below your thoughts on episode 1 and 2 from last night's season premiere of Game Changers. Episode 3 next week. I cannot wait for. I cannot wait for this tribe swap. Tribe swaps mess everything up. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, so comment below your thoughts on episode 1 and 2. I love you guys. Hashtag Team Figgy for life. And we'll talk soon. Mwah.